Hello everyone, Mr. Poulton again for your second little lesson on the Merchant of Venice in week 9 of lockdown. What we're going to do is we're going to refresh and review the two main scenes that you've looked at with me. So that will be Merchant of Venice Act 3 Scene 1 from last week and the Merchant of Venice Act 3 Scene 3 from this week. I'm going to show you the script again with the voiceover from the actors. If you follow through carefully and really pay attention. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is whether or not you think Shylock should be allowed to have the pound of flesh. Right? So do you think that Shylock should be allowed to have the pound of flesh from Antonio? Right? So you're going to watch the two scripts now. Act 3 Scene 1, Act 3 Scene 3. Your focus needs to be, should Shylock be allowed the pound of flesh?
Now, what news on the Rialto?
Why, yet it lives there unchecked that Antonio hath a ship of rich lading, wracked on the narrow seas. The Goodwins, I think they call the place. A very dangerous flat, and fatal, where the carcasses of many a tall ship lie buried, as they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word.
Oh, would she were as lying a gossip in that as ever napped ginger or made her neighbours believe she wept for the death of a third husband. But it is true, without any slips of prolixity or crossing the plain highway of talk, that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, oh, that I had a title good enough to keep his name company.
Come, the full stop.
What sayest thou? Why, the end is he hath lost a ship.
But it might prove the end of his losses.
Well, let me say amen betimes, lest the devil cross my prayer, for here he comes in the likeness of a Jew. How now, Shylock? What news among the merchants?
You knew? None so well as you of my daughter's flight.
That's certain. I, for my part, knew the tailor that made the wings she flew withal.
And Shylock, for his own part, knew the bird was fledge. And then it is the complexion of them all to leave the dam.
She is damned for it.
That's certain, if the devil may be her judge.
My own flesh and blood to rebel.
Out upon it, old carrion rebels it at these years.
I say my daughter is my flesh and my blood.
There is more difference between thy flesh and hers than between jet and ivory. More between your bloods than there is between red wine and Rhenish. But tell us, do you hear whether Antonio have had any loss at sea or no?
There I have another bad match. A bankrupt, a prodigal who dares scarce show his head on the Rialto. A beggar that was used to come so smug upon the mart. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to call me usurer. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to lend money for a Christian kersey. Let him look to his bond.
Why, I'm sure if he forfeit, thou wilt not take his flesh. What's that good for?
To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies, and what's his reason? I am a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Why, revenge. The villainy you teach me I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction.
Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house and desires to speak with you both.
We've been up and down to seek him.
Here comes another of the tribe. A third cannot be matched unless the devil himself turn Jew.
Oh, how now, Tubal, what news from Genoa? Hast thou found my daughter?
I often came where I did hear of her, but cannot find her.
Why, there. A diamond gone. Cost me 2,000 ducats in Frankfurt. The curse never fell upon our nation till now. I never felt it till now. 2,000 ducats in that, and other precious jewels. I would my daughter were dead at my foot, and the jewels in her ear. Would she were hearsed at my foot, and the ducats in her coffin. No news of them. Why so? And I know not what's spent in the search. Why, thou loss upon loss, the thief gone, with so much and so much to find the thief, and no satisfaction, no revenge, no ill luck stirring, but what lights on my shoulders, no sighs but of my breathing, no tears but of my shedding.
Yes, other men have ill luck too. Antonio, as I heard in Genoa.
What ill luck?
At an argosy cast away coming from Tripolis.
I thank God. Is it true?
I spoke with some of the sailors that escaped the rack.
Thank thee. Good Tubal, good news. Heard in Genoa?
Your daughter spent in Genoa, as I heard one night, 80 ducats.
Oh, thou sticks the dagger in me. I shall never see my gold again. 80 ducats at a sitting. 80 ducats.
There came divers of Antonio's creditors in my company to Venice that swear he cannot choose but break.
I am very glad of it. I'll plague him. I'll torture him. I am glad of it.
One of them showed me a ring that he had of your daughter for a monkey.
Altamona, thou torturest me, Tubal. It was my turquoise. I had it of Leah when I was a bachelor. I would not have given it for a wilderness of monkeys.
But Antonio is certainly undone.
Nay, that's true. That's very true. Go, Tubal, fee me an officer. Bespeak him a fortnight before. I will have the heart of him if he forfeit. For were he out of Venice, I can make what merchandise I will. Go, Tubal, and meet me at our synagogue. Go, good Tubal. At our synagogue, Tubal. Jailer, look to him. Tell not me of mercy. This is the fool that lent out money gratis. Jailer, look to him.
Hear me yet, good Shylock.
I'll have my bond. Speak not against my bond. I have sworn an oath that I will have my bond. Thou calledst me dog before thou hadst a cause. But since I am a dog, beware my fangs.
Shylock.
The Duke shall grant me justice. And to wonder, thou naughty jailer, that thou art so fond to come abroad with him at his request.
I pray thee, hear me speak.
I'll have my bond. I will not hear thee speak. I'll have my bond, and therefore speak no more. I'll not be made a soft and dull-eyed fool, to shake the head, relent, and sigh and yield to Christian intercessors. Follow not. I'll have no speaking. I will have my bond.
It is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with men.
Let him alone, Solanio. I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. He seeks my life. His reason well I know. I oft delivered from his forfeitures many that have at times made moan to me. Therefore he hates me.
I'm sure the Duke will never grant this forfeiture to
The Duke cannot deny the course of law. For the commodity that strangers have with us in Venice, if it be denied, will much impeach the justice of the state, since that the trade and profit of the city consisteth of all nations. Therefore go. These griefs and losses have so baited me that I shall hardly spare a pound of flesh tomorrow to my bloody creditor. Well, jailer, on. Pray God Bassanio come to see me pay his debt, and then I care not.
Right, so you've now gone through those scripts a couple of times, last week and this week. So you should know it quite well by now. You've read it, you've heard it read, you've even watched it this week, as well as watching some of it from last week. So let's move on to the task. I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining things to you today. Like I said, it would be a shorter video, but with a longer task for you to do. So you need to imagine that you are the Duke or a judge in a court of law. It's your job to decide whether Shylock should be allowed to take Antonio's pound of flesh or not. Right? So all of this responsibility lies on your shoulder. Right? So you need to spend about 10 minutes writing as the Duke to explain your decision. Now you'll notice here that explain is in bold, it's in capitals, and I've underlined it. Right? I want you to give reasons, not just say, I think this. Right? Give the reasons why you think that Shylock should or shouldn't be allowed to take Antonio's pound of flesh. Right? Think of all of the circumstances that might lead to. Can you go back on the law? Remember, this was a contract that Antonio knew what he was doing. There's been bad blood on both sides, but it's your decision. Now, if you wanted, you could go back and you could re-watch the two scenes, or you can just go from your memory. But remember, last lesson we talked about quotations. It would be really good to see some quotations in this piece of writing. All right, so I'll just refresh. You need to spend about 10 minutes of writing as the Duke to explain your decision. All right? The better explanation, the better that's going to come with evidence. Okay? Just do as you would normally do. Email me your work, and I'll speak to you about that over Messenger or over email. Right? Take care now. Bye-bye.